You're never alone.
Woman!
At times, they whisper in abandoned houses. At other times, they invade your dreams. The unseen is everywhere, lurking and waiting for you to notice. Prepare to watch footage that will send chills down your spine. Trigger warning. Don't watch if you're alone. On January 26, 2021, a couple tired of feeling ghostly presences in their home decided to set up cameras everywhere. What they caught on film was terrifying. In the bedroom, a dark, misty shadow appeared on the wall and dragged the wife from her bed across the floor. Just after that, they heard a loud noise outside their room. The footage showed their vacuum cleaner being lifted into the air by an unseen force before crashing into the ground. Shocked by this proof of ghostly activity, the couple didn't waste any time. They quickly packed up and left their haunted house, choosing safety over solving the mystery of their uninvited supernatural guest. Ghostly doll. A young girl was happily playing with her two dolls when something strange happened. Suddenly, one of the dolls turned its head to look right at her. The girl screamed and threw the haunted doll away. Her dad, worried about his daughter, got rid of all her dolls. Years passed, and the girl grew up. Just when she had forgotten all about that scary day, it happened again. While holding a doll, its face turned towards her just like before. It seemed the ghostly presence never left their house. Was it trying to remind her of that first frightening incident? Haunted toy chaos. On September 20th, 2016, in Mexico, a girl was playing with her dolls when one doll moved its head all by itself. Its eyes got fixed on the girl. Not noticing it, she went to do her homework in another room. Suddenly, her papers started moving on their own. Scared, she ran away. When she came back, things got really wild. An invisible force threw her papers and stationery. Even the table moved. Her parents, seeing this on camera, rushed home to calm their daughter. From that day on, they never left her alone in the house again. Flaming ghost. One night, an adventurous vlogger entered an abandoned building, hoping to capture some spooky footage. As his flashlight beam swept across the floor, it revealed a figure lying there. Suddenly, the figure came to life, started making wild, scary noises. He ran out for a moment, but his curiosity got him back inside. This time, the spot where the figure had been was now on fire. Was it the ghost burning up? Realizing things had taken a dangerous turn, he rushed to his car and sped away. Sometimes, the thrill of exploration isn't worth the risk of encountering the unknown. Wizard in Cave.
الجن ايوه كنا هوا بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم طب في حدا منهم هسه موجود هون
Deep in a dark cave, an explorer stumbled upon a scene straight out of a nightmare. A scary wizard appeared, claiming to be married to a jinn, a supernatural being. The wizard's tale got even creepier. He said he'd come to kidnap the explorer, who was now trapped in the cave. Suddenly, the wizard started talking to invisible creatures. The explorer looked around, confused and scared.
الشهر المحرم
When he turned back, the ghostly wizard had vanished into the air. Shaken to his core,
كيف تنظر خلفي وما فيش شيء وين رحت
the explorer raced out of the cave and headed straight home. Sometimes the mysteries hidden are better left undiscovered. Floating mummy. Two friends set out to prove the existence of spirits in a supposedly haunted village. Their adventure took an unexpected turn near an old railway track. As they explored, one friend spotted a body wrapped like a mummy floating in midair. They screamed, but bravely ran towards it. Just as they got close, the ghostly figure vanished into the nearby jungle. Shaken but excited, the friends decided to end their ghost hunt. They had captured the spooky proof of the encounter on video. Ghost Lady. A worker's normal day took a spooky turn in an under-construction house. As he climbed the stairs, he froze in shock. A ghostly woman was sitting there. Despite his fear, the brave worker asked her if she needed any help. She said, just remove the light from his eyes.
ايش مع مين بتحكي سامعين؟ ايش بتحكي؟
Not wanting to upset the spirit, the worker quickly left and told the owners. They decided to pause construction until the ghostly resident moved on. Tunnel Terror. What would you do if you saw a monster in a dark tunnel? A group of friends decided to explore an abandoned tunnel. As they got closer, they felt scared about what might be inside. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a creature ran toward them. The friends panicked and raced back to their car in total chaos. They sped away as fast as they could, leaving the scary tunnel behind. After hearing about what happened, the local people decided to close the tunnel. Now, no one goes there anymore, and the unidentified creature remains a frightening secret. Abandoned house. One night, a ghost hunter ventured into an abandoned house, seeking evidence of ghosts there. As he crept through a dimly lit gallery, he sensed a presence behind a half-open door. There, sitting on the floor, was a dark, ghostly figure. Without moving, it was controlling the door with mere gestures of its hands. Despite the terrifying sight, the ghost hunter remained calm. He started reciting holy verses, determined to gain proof of its existence. As the verses filled the room, the ghostly figure slowly disappeared.
Bismillah. Bismillah.
The hunter searched the house afterward, but found no trace of it. Ghost's Game.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
A team of ghost hunters made a daring deal with a spirit. They agreed to play a game in exchange for supernatural powers. One brave investigator from the team entered a haunted building to take on the challenge.
عرفتني؟ مين أنا؟
Inside, an armless ghost appeared, instructing the investigator to complete tasks behind different doors. But fear crept in. What if these tasks had dangerous consequences? The investigator decided to play it safe and left, promising to return another time. This ghostly game show left the investigator wondering, is the risk of dealing with spirits worth the potential reward? Haunted livestream.
Of my my bringing down of my oh my.
A live stream turned into a ghostly show when a paranormal activity started right behind him. While he was chatting with his viewers, a door suddenly slammed shut all by itself when he was home alone.
My dearest Lydia. Oh my.
Curious, he went to investigate, but that's when things got really creepy. Wild knocking came from inside the closed room. He opened the door, but found nothing. Then, a dark shadow appeared right behind him. But here's the strange part. The YouTuber didn't freak out. He acted like it was his daily routine, leaving his viewers wondering, does he live with ghosts all the time? Kitchen chaos. A normal day turned into a paranormal nightmare in one family's kitchen. Security cameras captured cabinets opening and closing on their own, while dishes flew across the room. When the family returned home, they were shocked by the mess. Checking the security footage, they witnessed the ghostly activity. Wasting no time, they called a priest to cleanse their home of whatever spirit had decided to ruin their kitchen. Spirit in cave.
بدكش يعني احضر طفل الجن عشان هاي المغامرة.
One day, a group of paranormal investigators entered a spooky cave. They felt a ghostly presence around them. One team member, skilled in talking to spirits, started communicating with it. He challenged the ghost to prove its existence to the team. He recited some verses and scattered dust on the ground. Suddenly, the stick broke itself into two pieces all by itself. The team looked at each other, scared and amazed. Without saying a word, they all turned and ran out of the cave as fast as they could. They had their proof, but it was more than they could handle. Haunting baby.
Mother of two says her friends told her to run after she showed them this creepy footage.
A mom from Toronto never believed in ghosts until a series of strange events changed her mind. It all started after she sadly lost a baby through miscarriage. That very night, a toy in her living room mysteriously turned on by itself, playing music in the dark. But the scariest moment came later on. She saw what looked like a ghostly baby face on her daughter's crib camera. She believed it was the spirit of her unborn baby. Since then, weird things kept happening. Knocks on doors, closets opening on their own. Her friends told her to leave the house after seeing the spooky footage. Now, she was convinced her home was haunted by the child she lost and left it. Ghostly encounter. An adventurous guy entered an abandoned building out of curiosity. Just as he went inside, a broken piece of wood flew at him from a nearby room. He went inside the spooky room to investigate. Suddenly, a door got shut wildly on its own. As things started getting more spooky, he went outside. When he left the factory, he turned back for one last look. There, in a window, a ghostly figure stared right at him. He bravely walked closer, saying holy verses. But as he got near, the creepy figure vanished. This Ghostbuster wannabe got his thrill, but he might think twice before his next abandoned adventure. Spooky girl.
Please help me.
What? What's wrong with you?
One night in Ohio, a boy had a chilling encounter outside his window. As he approached, a creepy girl appeared out of nowhere. Except she wasn't any ordinary girl. She was a ghost. Things grew even more terrifying when the ghost started talking to the boy, asking to come inside.
Who are you?
Please let me in. Please help me.
Paralyzed with fear, the boy tried asking who she was, but before he could get an answer, the ghostly figure lunged forward with her mouth wide open. What happened next remains a mystery, as the video abruptly cuts out.
Harder, please let me in. Harder.
The sudden ending has left everyone in shock. Did the ghostly girl make her way into the house, or did the boy manage to escape? The truth remains unclear to this day. Haunted confrontation.
طب شو السرعة هاي اللي عندك؟ إيش السرعة هاي اللي عندك؟
Locals in a town started talking about strange events, doors slamming on their own, and weird noises at night coming inside an abandoned building. They called a team of paranormal investigators to find proof so they could get rid of all this. While searching, the team suddenly came face to face with a ghost, waving a stick to scare them off. But they didn't want to leave without proof. They stood there trying to get a good look at the ghostly figure. It started walking towards them slowly, then threw the stick at them. That's when they knew things were getting too wild. They ran out of the building as fast as they could, but they had finally gotten the proof they were looking for. Spooky inheritance.
Bismillah! مين انتي؟ Bismillah!
A boy got an old house inherited from his grandparents, but it was not normal. The neighbors told him it was haunted. They heard weird noises coming from the house at night. One night, he went inside. As soon as he stepped in, he saw a ghostly girl staring at him from a window. She started laughing in a scary voice that echoed through the empty rooms.
Bismillah! مين انتي؟ Bismillah!
He started shivering from fear and ran out of the house. In the end, he sold the house to some ghost hunters who knew how to deal with spooky roommates. Spooked stable. Animals have a way of sensing things we can't. One night at a stable, horses proved just how in tune they are with the supernatural. On March 19, 2022, a dark, mysterious figure appeared behind the horses. As it moved silently among them, the horses grew alarmed. Panic took over, and the horses jumped towards the gate, trampling everything in their path to escape the figure. The fuss alerted the homeowner, who rushed to investigate. But by the time he arrived, the ghostly figure had vanished without a trace. He gathered his spooked horses back into the stable. To protect them, he spent the entire night in the stable. Whatever visited the stable that night left both horses and the owner scared. Ghost chase. Late one night, a young boy's curiosity led him into a spooky adventure. As he passed an old building, strange voices caught his attention. Bravely, he stepped inside to investigate. He searched every corner, but found nothing. Suddenly, on the stairs, he spotted a dark figure staring at him. Instead of running away, the boy chased after it, saying holy verses. When he reached the rooftop, the figure had vanished into the air. Realizing he might have just encountered a real ghost, the boy decided it was time to leave. Attic terror. A couple faced a scary situation in their own home. Strange noises from their attic caught their attention one evening. Curious but cautious, they decided to investigate while his wife recorded the event. As the husband climbed the attic ladder, the noises grew louder.
It was just a shit.
Boxes started to move on their own, and he decided to return. But just as he was about to close the attic door, a terrifying sight appeared. A dark face with glowing eyes peered out for a brief moment. Its features weren't there, just a black shadow. Shocked and scared, the couple quickly sealed the attic. They declared their home haunted and decided never to open that door again, leaving the mysterious creature undisturbed. Desert encounter. A YouTuber with his friends went to look around a building where people said nuns live. They recorded their trip on Snapchat. At first, nothing exciting happened as they walked around the quiet place. Then, out of nowhere, they saw a strange being walking away from them. They stood there for a moment, not sure what to do. Slowly, they tried to get closer to see it better. The YouTuber shouted at it, but it didn't move or say anything back. After a while, they decided it was just best to leave. No one knows what the strange thing was. People who watched the video still wonder what the group saw in that empty desert that day. Forest creature. Have you ever seen something that looked half human and half animal? Some friends were camping in the forest when they heard a weird noise.
I don't know, mate. What was that?
Huh?
What was that?
At first, they thought it was just an animal, but when they shined their flashlights, they saw something shocking. It looked like a creature that was half human and half pig. The big man started coming towards them. Scared, the friends ran back to their camp for help.
What is that?
As soon as the creature saw lights from other campsites, it rushed back into the dark forest. No one knows what the friends really saw that night, leaving the mystery of the pigman unsolved. Glowing gaze. In an old, empty mountain area where people weren't supposed to go, some ghost hunters decided to look for spirits. They were excited to maybe have a chance to talk to a ghost, but when they got there, all they saw were two glowing eyes and a shadow. There was no face or body at all. The ghost hunters tried to film it, but as soon as they moved their camera, the strange thing disappeared. It looked like the ghost didn't want to chat. Feeling a bit sad that they couldn't make a new ghost friend, the hunters went back home. Cemetery encounter.
Hello? Ma'am.
In 2020, a local had a spooky experience in a cemetery. He saw an old lady sitting alone on a bench. Trying to be kind, he asked if she needed help, but the lady just stared at him without saying a word.
Do you need help?
He felt scared and decided to leave quickly. Some people think the lady might have been lost or confused. Others believe he saw a real ghost. Whatever it was, he learned it's better not to visit cemeteries late at night. He left the creepy place, probably never wanting to go back again. Cemetery daytime visitor. A gravedigger working in a cemetery during the day had a strange experience. While digging, he noticed a blurry face watching him from some nearby bushes. The face stayed there for a whole hour before vanishing into thin air. The gravedigger wondered if it might be the soul of someone buried in the cemetery. Maybe it was waiting for a loved one to come and visit. Even though it was daytime, the ghost didn't seem scary. It just watched quietly, as if curious about what was happening in its final resting place. Fiery night sky watcher. An Arabian cameraman caught something unexpected on his camera. He saw a strange being dressed in all black, but its face glowed orange like fire. The face had no clear features, making it look really spooky. Scared of what he saw, the cameraman decided it was best to leave quickly. He worried that if he stayed, the fiery being might try to possess him. He packed up his camera and hurried away, leaving the mysterious creature alone. Park cleaners encounter. Why is it risky to clean parks at night? A park cleaner had a frightening experience while working late. In the dark park, he saw a figure dressed in all white. But when he looked closer, he saw its face was just a black shadow. Remembering his faith, the cleaner started saying Quranic verses for protection. Then he quickly left the park, not wanting to stay near the scary figure. This taught him that, even for cleaners, it's better to avoid dark, lonely places at night. Some jobs are just safer done in daylight.
Bismillah.
Indonesian forest fright. In Indonesia, a group of explorers were walking through a dark forest. Their flashlights lit up a terrifying sight. They saw a messy-looking girl in a white robe with long black hair. She was sitting still, holding a bag. When they got closer, they saw her face. It was pale yellow with wide-open eyes and a black mouth. Her face looked twisted and scary. The hikers didn't want to find out what was inside that bag of hers, and they ran away fast. People think they might have seen a jinn, a ghost from Islamic stories. Whatever it was, the hikers won't soon forget this incident. Lost sisters return. What if someone you lost came back, but not as themselves? Two boys went into the woods looking for their little sister. She had been missing for 4 months. Suddenly, they saw her coming towards them, but something wasn't right. The girl they saw wasn't their sister anymore. She had become a ghost. Scared, the boys ran away, holding fire sticks to protect themselves. Alien and forest officer. A forest officer was doing his usual rounds when he saw something strange. At first, it looked like a bear's face, but it was so weird, unlike any animal he'd ever seen before. The officer knew every part of this forest, so this creature was a complete mystery. Before he could get a better look, the strange thing disappeared. He wondered if it was an alien or some kind of supernatural being. Unwelcomed house guest. A family moved into a rented house, excited for their new home. But soon, they heard strange noises coming from the second floor. Thinking it might be a cat, they went to check. When they opened the ceiling with a stick, they saw something terrifying. A strange face appeared. It was skin-colored with no features, bald with just a few hairs. Scared, the family ran to their rooms and called a paranormal investigator. The investigator said the entity had lived there for a long time, and the house belonged to it. The family had to move out, and no one has rented the house since. Cow's ghostly encounter. In 2023, a trail camera caught a spooky scene. A runaway cow, far from its farm, was wandering down a road. Suddenly, something weird appeared. A misty shadow of a ghost riding a horse came out of nowhere. The cow, using its special sense for paranormal stuff, saw the ghostly rider clearly. As the ghostly horse and rider passed by, the cow freaked out. It started running and was never seen again. The cow owner searched for it everywhere, but it vanished without a trace. Backyard visitor. One day, a homeowner heard odd knocking sounds. He grabbed his phone to record it, thinking someone was at the door. But when he looked, no one was there. Instead, he saw a creepy figure standing by a tree outside. The man kept filming, scared but curious. He heard a whisper saying, "I'll take you," which he didn't notice at first.
The kids had football practice, so they had to go do their own thing. So I ordered DoorDash.
The knocking continued all night, and the figure stayed by the tree. Too frightened to stay, the homeowner decided to sell the house and move away. Village night fright. One night in a village, people were sitting together and talking. Everything was normal until something scary happened. A young boy in the group started acting very weird. The boy's mouth opened wide, and he began making horrible sounds. His friends were shocked and scared. They realized a demon had taken over the boy's body. Quickly, the villagers took the boy to a priest. They hoped the priest could make the demon leave the boy's body. Everyone was worried and frightened, wondering if their friend would be okay. It was a night the village people would never forget, reminding them that sometimes spooky things can happen when you least expect it. Doorbell prank gone wrong. Have you ever played a prank that backfired? Some friends thought it would be funny to annoy their neighbors. They rang doorbells and ran away, laughing, but their fun didn't last for long. As they turned a corner, they saw a scary figure standing still on the roadside, staring right at them. One friend shouted, "It's a ghost!" Suddenly, the pranksters became the scared ones.
Let's go back up to the... Dude, oh my god. Whoa, whoa.
Zoom in on that, zoom in on that, zoom in on that.
Whoa, what is that?
What is that? Zoom in on it.
They ran away as fast as they could. They learned that sometimes trying to scare others can lead to getting a big scare yourself. Two-toned forest giant. A wildlife photographer was taking pictures in a jungle when he saw something unbelievable. A huge figure was standing still, trying to hide, but it was so big, it couldn't stay hidden. The creature looked like a Sasquatch or Bigfoot, but with a strange twist. Its top half and head were black, while from the chest down, it was brownish-orange. When the photographer looked closely, he saw its face seemed almost like a skeleton. Scared but curious, the photographer decided it was safer to go back to taking pictures of regular animals. He left the two-toned giant alone, wondering if anyone would believe what he saw in the forest that day. Roadside ghost. A family was on a road trip when they stopped to enjoy some nice scenery. Their kids started filming the pretty nature around them. Suddenly, he saw something strange through the camera. A tall figure in a black robe was standing nearby. It looked like a woman, but it had no face. There was a car next to her, and she wasn't moving. Then, all of a sudden, she raised her hand like she wanted a ride. The scared kid ran back to his family. They quickly got in their car and drove away fast. They learned an important lesson. It's not always safe to stop in unfamiliar places, especially if ghostly hitchhikers might be around. Haunting secret. Late one night, a girl in a hostel stepped out of her room. What she saw next made her freeze in fear. A scary figure dressed in all white was climbing up the wall like a spider. Terrified, she ran to tell the hostel authorities, but they told her to keep quiet to avoid scaring anyone else. They said they would handle it. The girl went back to her room and decided to change the haunted hostel. The creepy wall climber just kept on haunting her. Haunted barbershop. A barbershop crew installed a CCTV camera to keep an eye on things, but they caught a scary sight on it instead. While they were busy with customers, strange things started happening. A blue cape moved around by itself as if someone invisible pulled it. Then, a doll head wearing a wig suddenly turned around. The barbers didn't notice at first, but when they watched the footage later, they were shocked. They decided to call ghost hunters to clean up their shop. Ghostly cat chase. A cat owner got scared while watching security camera footage. His cat had gone outside, but it wasn't alone. A misty shadow that looked like another cat was following it. The real cat didn't seem to notice its spooky follower. Worried, the owner ran outside to bring his pet back home. After that scary experience, he decided it was safer to keep his cat indoors. Roadside ghost scare. Some friends were enjoying a long drive when things got scary. As they passed a dark forest road, they saw something that made them all scream. A figure covered in a white cloth was moving towards their car, believing they'd seen a real ghost. The friends quickly put their car in reverse. They sped all the way back home, hearts racing. After that night, they promised never to take that creepy road again. Flying car mystery. A group of friends went into a forest for an adventure, but things got weird when their car suddenly lifted off the ground and floated in the air. Someone inside the car began throwing things out the windows. Scared, the friends called the police, but by the time help arrived, the car had vanished completely. The police started looking, but they couldn't find the missing car anywhere. The mystery still remains unsolved. Open discussion. Many years ago, a hotel was closed down because guests kept seeing scary things. People said it was haunted. A brave team of ghost hunters decided to check it out for themselves. As they walked through an old gallery in the hotel, a ghostly figure suddenly appeared right in front of them. Instead of running away, those ghost hunters chased after it. They searched every room, hoping to find the ghost. Though they heard strange noises, they couldn't see the ghost again. The team left, feeling excited and a bit disappointed, but decided to come back another day to solve the mystery of the haunted hotel.